Hello, everybody. I'm excited to be here today with Leanne Townsend, my colleague, and I am even more excited today because we have a special guest by the name of Jennifer Donison, who is a preeminent divorce and parenting coach in Ontario, Canada. And we are going to be discussing divorce coaching, parent coaching, as well as how we as lawyers, certainly at Benmor Family Law Group, have been working collectively with Jennifer and other divorce coaches in Ontario in order to help our clients journey through the process called separation and divorce. So welcome, Jennifer.
Welcome, Jennifer. We're excited to have you here.
So by way of background, for the benefit of those, divorce coaching is a fairly new concept. We've seen a lot of it in the United States, very little of it in other parts of the world. Interestingly, in the United Kingdom, there was a recognition of the importance of having a coach sitting beside a self-represented litigant in the British courts. And they call that Mackenzie friend because of a particular case that developed the name, where judges have actually allowed a coach to sit with what in the US is called pro se and what in Ontario and in Canada is called a self-represented litigant. And so the role in Ontario, as is the role in the rest of the world that uses divorce coaching, is actually unknown to most. And today we're going to uncover what it is that divorce coaching means for lawyers servicing clients, as well as for clients that either have lawyers or don't have lawyers. And today our viewers will learn about why divorce coaching is so critical. And you're going to hear about it really from the horse's mouth. And no disrespect, in this case, all three of us are horses because we are consumers of divorce coaching. We are purveyors of divorce coaching, and we are referrers for divorce coaching. And so I can say that Benmor Family Law Group has embraced the benefit of divorce coaching. And let me tell you why. And then I want to hear from Leanne on how she has incorporated divorce coaching in her practice. But in my situation, I deal with a lot of spouses at different emotional stages of separation and divorce. Some of them are in those different emotional stages for purely natural reasons. They may have just broken up last week. It might be that they were told that the relationship is over. It may be that they have made the decision to end the relationship. And whoever is the initiator or otherwise, they all go through various emotional stages: denial, anger, resentment, accepted, settlement. These are recognized stages of divorce. And then on top of that, there are people that have their own mental health issues. And that's okay. We live in a world where many of us have brown eyes, brown hair, and some other thing going on between our ears, whether it's ADHD or whether it's autism or whether it's PTSD, whatever it is, we all have other factors that influence who we are. And so along comes divorce coaching and allows a lawyer to say, you know what? I really know the law. I know how to write documents. I know how to advocate in court. I know how to negotiate. But there's a lot more that clients need than those few factors. And that's where I have recognized as a senior divorce lawyer in Canada that there is a role for the people that can provide those services far better than me and less expensive than me. And I have learned how to incorporate the Jennifer Donisons of the world into the most excellent customer service model to help people that are directly benefiting from that triangulation: the client, the lawyer, the divorce coach. And today we're going to hear of examples from Jennifer about how her and I have done this successfully for some people. But before I do, I just want to turn over to Leanne, because Leanne's got her own historical experience with divorce coaching and divorce law practice. So Leanne, tell us.
Yeah, so my comments echo your experience, Steve, with divorce coaches. I have worked with a number of them. I have worked with Jennifer. We just have a new file together as well right now. And I've found divorce coaches to be invaluable for my clients. And a big part of it is, the training and things that they bring to the table, but also the cost piece, because my background, even as lawyers, we have different backgrounds, and I've done a lot of sort of what I would call coachy type of courses and work. And so I have a lot of training in how to hold space for people emotionally, and dealing with different types of mental health issues and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's expensive for a client to be using me as their lawyer and in a coaching type of capacity. And so it's often, much better for them to use me just for the stuff, the legal work, where they need my legal expertise, and to work with someone like Jennifer on the more emotional issues, so that they can, do that more cost effectively, and make decisions, because I find divorce coaches help clients a lot with getting clarity and making decisions. So if I have a client who's just spinning and spinning, and every time I speak to them, we seem to be having the same conversation over and over, and I can't get them to sort of pull the trigger and make a decision, I found when they work with a divorce coach, they're much, much more effective at doing that. And so they're just a great resource for clients to use.
Excellent. So Jennifer, before we jump into the mechanics and the nuts and bolts of divorce coaching and Break Forward Divorce Coach Institute, I'd like you to tell me a little bit about your journey. From where do you come, and how did you become a divorce coach, and why have you become a divorce coach, and what has been your experience professionally as a divorce coach?
Well, I feel that, like most people who work in this industry, I've had a very difficult experience through separation and divorce with young kids. And it started really sparking an interest of how to help people that were going through similar experiences. And I started to understand that it isn't as easy as just hiring a lawyer and just going through the steps of it. You really need to have that support from other people along the journey, or it's just unbearable at times. And I found that looking to support for friends and family, although it's great, it's also difficult because you're not getting sometimes the advice that you need as a professional would give you. And you need unbiased opinions. You don't want the support of someone who loves you, because sometimes that could be encouraging the wrong decisions, even though they think that it's for the best intentions. So for me, I started studying and really taking a lot of different courses to support what it is that I wanted to do, which was helping families with young children. That was my first goal. And I took all of my mediation training. And then I started to really understand, coming from a therapeutic background, what it is I wanted to create. And that was really holding people's hands through this journey to get them to where they wanted to go with less costs and more time effective. And it's been fantastic because I've worked with several fantastic lawyers, such as both of you. And it's been such an amazing supportive journey when we're able to work together and really help those clients from you and the legal aspects. And for me, not only emotionally, but helping to organize different things and helping them understand what's happening next. What do we have to do to get there? And to really put it into perspective. We don't have to jump 5 steps ahead. Let's focus on now. And any of my clients will tell you that one of the biggest phrases I'll say is just focus on the moment, step by step, because it gets too overwhelming. And personally, I understand this. And professionally, I understand this. So helping clients just really focus in gets to be a little bit more helpful for everyone.
Thanks, Jen. And so, oftentimes clients will ask us, well, I already have a therapist. Why do I need a divorce coach? And I'm going to tell them the answer that I give, but I'm curious to know your answer. And I say to them, therapy has been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. Divorce coaching has not really been around very much, but coaching has been around for a very long time. And I often say to the clients, listen, if you were an Olympic athlete, would you have a coach? They would say yes. I would say, well, why would you have a coach? Because you're already an Olympic athlete. And they would say, well, I think it's because as much as I know what I need to do, I need somebody to keep me focused, to keep me accountable, and to ensure that I achieve my goal. I don't need to discuss the history that led me to where I am right now. And I say, bingo. And that's why you need a divorce coach, is because you've hired me as a lawyer to get you from where you are today to some future place. You did not hire me to make sense of the past. And so if you hire a divorce coach, they're joining me on our team to get you to that place faster, cheaper, and more successfully. And that is different than therapy. So what do you say about that?
All of that. And also it encompasses some really good perks as well. Sometimes I work with both clients, so both parties that are going through it, to help with the co-parenting and to help reduce the conflict, which is really helpful that therapy does not offer. And also when somebody works with a therapist, and I'm a huge advocate for therapy, but it is so different. You have to schedule a session maybe once a week. You have an hour of their time. It's very different than a coach who's going to walk along the journey with you, and they can call you when they're going through some sort of anxiety and they need you to help understand what they're going through and point them in the right direction. They're there for you to help check over documents that you're looking at. And again, I'm just going to preempt this with, it all depends on the divorce coach's training and what their specialty is for them to be able to help in different capacities. But what I do with my clients is that, and I will look over documents for them and help them really put things in things that are important and not emotionally driven, just factual based, which is very difficult sometimes for clients to really see when they're involved. So it's different.
Now, what should somebody look for in terms of like qualities and credentials when they're looking for a divorce coach? Because there are a lot out there. And as you just touched upon too, Jennifer, there's different types, that different skills that different ones are bringing to the table. So how does somebody know how to if the divorce coach they're looking at is the right one for them?
I always provide clients a free consultation so that they're able to get to know who I am a little bit more and to see if we're aligned with what it is that they're trying to accomplish. If someone calls me and says, well, I just want to screw over my ex, we wouldn't be a good fit. So it really just depends what type of divorce coach is going to be working with the client and what their background is. If they're therapeutically trained, if they have financial training, if they're a lawyer, they have different skills and sets that may be more appealing to the client and what they're going through in their situation. Maybe they have young children and co-parenting is the focus of what they're going through, which is what I specialize in. Maybe it's something that they're just so anxious about their finances and they have 5 properties and what's going to happen and what do I do? So it's just about knowing what the background of the divorce coach is, their credentials, their training, and what it is that they're bringing to the table in terms of even the personality and the connection between the client and the coach.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, do you have some examples of cases, we're not going to name names, of course, because it's all confidential, but cases that you've worked on with lawyers where you can point to the benefits of that person having a divorce coach alongside them?
Sure. So one of my clients, and I'm just trying to think as you're speaking, I have several clients that often will look to me and say, well, what do I do after speaking to their lawyer? And it's such a question, it's a very common question. And unfortunately, I can't tell anyone what to do because it's their journey, not mine, and their decisions are going to impact what they're going to continue to do in their lives. But we really weigh the pros and cons of things. And I act as a sounding board. So we get all the information established, and then they're able to make more informed decisions when we have another meeting with the lawyers, but we'll come back and they'll feel more clear and focused. And then they'll understand maybe what it is that the lawyer said that they were not hearing because there was too much information for them to grasp at that moment. So often I will have joint meetings with lawyers and my client to hear the information and maybe even explain it to them again and offer some solutions that could happen if they go this road or that road, so that the clarity becomes something that's more something that they understand a little bit more. And then we talk about the different paths to walk on and go back to the lawyer and really establish what it is that they're wanting to do.
That's excellent, Jennifer. Well, in the last few minutes of our time together, I'd love you to just tell us a little bit more about Break Forward Divorce Coach Institute, and if you don't mind, when you answer my question, speak to the different categories. Speak to the divorce lawyers like Leanne and I, and in terms of understanding what it is that they are looking for in making a referral to a divorce coach, and also speak to those people that might actually be considering moving into the space called divorce coaching as a professional.
Sure. So I created Break Forward Divorce Coach Institute because I was really passionate to help people who are wanting to become divorce coaches understand what divorce coaching is and also understand what it is not. So the boundaries that we are very clear about would be not stepping on legal toes, making sure we're not stepping on therapy toes, and making sure even the financials of it, if we don't understand, to pass it to someone who does. It's very important to understand the role of a divorce coach so that we can refer to the other professionals involved so everyone can help the client in the best way possible.
That's great.
So the training does provide. Go ahead.
I remember just a few days ago, somebody asked me that question, and I just had a light bulb moment, and I said, if somebody is going through a divorce, there's probably a time earlier in their relationship, mainly if they were married, that they had a wedding. And when they had a wedding, one of the first things they probably hired was a wedding planner. They didn't first hire a photographer, a florist, and a hall, and then the wedding planner. They hired the wedding planner, who guided them through the journey of organizing their wedding and even handling some of those anxiety-provoking moments through the process, leading all the way up to walking down the aisle and then walking into the room when the reception started. And I said to them, just like it occurs in the planning of a wedding, from engagement to reception through the ceremony, equally, a divorce coach is the same type of service, but far more professional, far more focused, to help people through the journey of going from the moment of the declaration of separation to the divorce settlement so that they can begin the next chapter of their life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're definitely
Absolutely.
a valuable resource.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because sometimes divorce coaches will even help out post-divorce, focusing on goals and guiding. So it's really a wonderful role. I find it a very special role, and I'm honored to work with the clients that I do because I love watching them through their journey, starting from a moment of despair all the way to empowerment and feeling like they've become a new version of themselves. It's so rewarding, and I encourage anybody who wants to be a divorce coach to take the training, understand what it is, and really have such a fulfilling career.
Well, thank you, Jennifer Donison, and thank you, Break Forward Divorce Coach Institute, and thank you to Leanne. We are so happy to have invited you onto our show today as a guest, and we hope that our viewers and followers benefit from the educational program that we provided today on divorce coaching and its value to those going through separation and divorce. So to everybody, thank you, and we will see you next week.
Thanks, everyone, and thanks, Jennifer.
Thank you.